When my wife Rachel invited me to her company's annual gala, I didn't think much of it. I knew these events were full of polite chatter, business handshakes, and speeches. She asked me to come because spouses were expected, and I wanted to support her. Rachel had worked hard all year, and this event was important for her career. The ballroom was filled with glittering lights and polished suits. I felt slightly out of place, but Rachel looked stunning in her evening dress. She introduced me to co-workers, and I smiled, shook hands, and kept to myself. For the first hour, everything was smooth, just as I had imagined. Then I met him. His name was Eric, one of Rachel's colleagues. He walked over with a grin that seemed a little too wide. At first, I thought he was just being friendly, but his tone told a different story. "So you're Rachel's husband," he said, as if testing me. I nodded and extended my hand, but he didn't take it right away. Instead, he glanced at Rachel, then back at me, as if sizing me up. Rachel looked uncomfortable, shifting slightly, but stayed quiet. I realized quickly that Eric wasn't here to make small talk. "So tell me," he said loudly enough for others nearby to hear, "what do you do?" I told him about my job, nothing flashy, just honest work I was proud of. His smile sharpened as he replied, "Interesting. Not exactly exciting though, is it?" The people standing near us went quiet, sensing tension. Rachel's cheeks turned pink, and I saw the embarrassment in her eyes. I felt a mix of anger and calm rising inside me. I could have snapped back, but I chose something else instead. I smiled and said, "Exciting is temporary. Building a life with Rachel, that's permanent." The words hung in the air, stronger than I expected. Eric's grin faltered, and for the first time, he looked unsure. The crowd around us shifted, some nodding at my response. Rachel squeezed my hand tightly, relief shining in her eyes. Eric tried to recover, chuckling awkwardly. But his confidence had cracked, his arrogance exposed. Within seconds, the smirk he carried all evening was gone. He muttered something about getting another drink and walked away. Rachel turned to me with tears threatening to fall. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling. I simply kissed her forehead and said, "Always." In that moment, she knew I wasn't just her husband. I was her shield. The rest of the night felt lighter, even joyful. Rachel introduced me to others with renewed pride. Her colleagues treated me differently now, with respect. Eric stayed at a distance, his earlier bravado completely gone. Later, on the drive home, Rachel reached for my hand. She said softly, "I was so scared you'd be hurt tonight." I shook my head and smiled. "You're worth protecting always." Her eyes filled with tears, but this time they were happy ones. That night, I realized something powerful. Sometimes strength isn't in fighting with anger. It's in standing firm with love and dignity. And in those few seconds at her work event, Eric's smile vanished, but our bond grew stronger.